So this video is really about inspiration, and I am going to inspire you. Like by the time this video is over, you will feel well inspired. Okay. You will be inspired to move. You will be inspired to do something different. You will be inspired to take action. All right. And that's mainly what my content is about most of the time, unless I'm doing like Dollar Tree Horse, which, Dollar Tree Horse is. So I had did a video right now. We are almost at 1 million views on this video that I had done. This video, I did it, I think it was about almost 2 weeks ago. And this is why you don't give up on your content. This is why you don't delete the content that you post. This is why you're going to keep on going. You're going to keep taking action. I always knew it was more in the cards for myself as a young kid. It's so funny because the other day I was talking to my oldest son who is 22 years old. And me and him was talking, and one of the things I said to him, I said, even when I was a young kid, like I knew I was geared towards like becoming a multimillionaire. I knew it was more in the cards for me. Like I knew it, right? And I don't know where this feeling came from, but I always wanted more as a kid. I remember this one time when I was a kid, my two oldest cousins, but one of them had purchased these Bernstein Bear books. You remember Bernstein Bears back in the day with mama and papa and daughter and brother, right? I remember my oldest cousin, she had purchased these books from me, Bernstein Bear books. I remember this like it was yesterday. And it was kids that was on a block, that lived on a block. At this time, I was living with my aunt. My aunt had custody of me, and her daughter had brought me the Bernstein Bear books. And what I did was I pretty much sold those books in order for me to make more money, okay? In order for me to make money. And I remember I got in trouble for doing it, but I always knew that I was geared towards more. I always knew that I wanted more from life. I didn't exactly know how that was going to take place. I didn't know how things was going to turn around in my life. But I always had this inkling that I deserve more in life, okay? Especially when it came down to money. So I told you guys back in 2018, I had got a download, right, for me to do videos, for me to make content. And this is when God comes in, okay? Because if you're a person, you saying, oh, you want your life to change, you have to trust God. You have to know that God is going to keep God's word, okay? God keeps his word. God is faithful, all right? And I remember I kept saying I wanted my life to change. I didn't know exactly how that was going to look. And when I got the download to make content, I told you guys that the content mainly was, hey, Atkins, peace here, peace here, peace here. The content mainly was for me. I was thinking in my mind, see, sometimes you can have it all, think you have it all figured out. Like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to do it like that. And a lot of times God have something bigger and better in mind for you, and stored for you. Okay. That's why it's important for you not to say, well, God, I want it like this. No, you'll get the thing, but the way you think that it is the best, it may not be the best that way, okay? From me going into Dollar Tree Horse. And another thing, you have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to be obedient. When I had got the download to do content, at first I was doing inspirational videos on social media, on here, on YouTube, on here, but mainly on Facebook. And I would show up each and every day. I was so consistent. I'm still consistent. I believe in showing up. Okay. And I would show up day after day after day. And it was times where so I didn't see anything. All right. But I wasn't in it for that. When I showed up, I was in it for, I want people to understand that they have the ability to change their life. That's mainly what I was in it for. I didn't care at that time, I wasn't thinking about, me being monetized on any platform, right? That came later down the road, where so I started saying, well, maybe it's best. It would be great if I could earn money from this, me making content and stuff. But at first, I didn't know nothing about being monetized, how to get monetized. My whole message was I want people to know that they do not have to suffer, because suffering is a choice, and they do not have to stay where they are. They can move at any given time. Have money. They could move at any given time. And that's really what I wanted. And so what wound up happening was I kept on making content, and for one reason or another, one day, out of all the places that I would be like, oh, I am not shopping here, it was Dollar Tree. The one place that I use, and that's why you think you have it all figured out. That's why you have to be obedient, because you think like, oh well, it's my way. No, you have to be willing to be teachable. Okay. And for some reason or another, I went to Dollar Tree this one particular day, and I made a video of myself in Dollar Tree. The one place that I was like, ooh, the one place I used to look down on, the one place that I felt like I was too good for. And I made a video in that Dollar Tree. And if it wasn't for me making videos, okay, because the audience, people gravitated more with my Dollar Tree hauls as opposed of my inspirational videos. And that's why you have to be obedient and be willing to change. Because suppose if I just was like, no, this is the content, this is what I'm going to post. I'm just going to post inspirational videos, and this is what they're going to get, and that's it. My video right now is at 600, what is it? 650 something thousand views on Facebook. All these years, I've been posting on Facebook, posting on Facebook. And I am seeing the fruit of my labor. And this is why it's so important to keep on going. This is why it's so important to see yourself as that person that you desire to be. And that video is still going. Mind you, this video is like a week or 2 weeks. It's like 2 weeks, and it's still climbing. It has over 300 and something thousand, 3,000 and something likes. It has over 74 or 700 and something new followers. Okay, you have to keep on going. You think that the work that you've been putting in, that is just like, oh well, I've been putting that work in, nobody's gonna notice it. I've been putting that work in, what was the use? No, keep on going. And it definitely puts me in a mind of what Napoleon Hill said in his book Think and Grow Rich. He was like, when things in your life appear like everything appear to be going wrong, like it's going to be, that's when the big breakthrough will happen. But it's so many people that quit before that time. And I just kept on going. A few things that I did was, one, on Facebook, I started joining groups. Okay. I started joining groups, and groups that is relatable to my content. So you guys know I do a lot of Dollar Tree hauls. So I started joining groups, whereas though those groups was primarily focused on Dollar Tree. I didn't even know nothing about joining groups and stuff like that, but I just started joining groups. I was a part of groups, about how to grow on YouTube and stuff like that, but I never thought, like, let me join groups, like, me posting Dollar Tree hauls. And you know what's so funny? I've been posting Dollar Tree hauls, I think, was it last year? I don't even think that I was really posting Dollar Tree hauls on Facebook until one day I just started uploading Dollar Tree hauls on Facebook. Because remember, when I first started 7 years ago, my content mainly was about inspiration. So on Facebook. And so I started uploading recently. This has been recently. I started uploading videos about Dollar Tree. And my numbers are numbering. My numbers are going up. And I absolutely love that for myself. I am so proud of myself because I kept on going. No matter what adversity came my way, I continuously persevered. I continuously showed up for myself, but not only for me, but for my children as well. Okay. And so to the man or woman that's out there, and you may feel like you want to give up. No, you're not. You're going to keep on going. You're going to keep on persevering. You know why? Because imagine this time next year. Imagine this time next year. Your whole entire life is completely changed because you showed up, because you kept putting one foot in front of the other. Because no matter what occurred in your life, you said, I am still going to show up. And you showed up each and every time. And so be proud of yourself. When you show up, times where as though you don't want to do it and you still show up because the vision that you have for you and your family is much bigger than your circumstances, give yourself a pat on the back because there is something major. You have to be willing to show up. If you are a person that shows up, and it's not only wrapped around making content, okay, this is everything in life. If you're a person that only shows up when things appear to be good, if you're a wish-washy person, oh, I'm going to show up when the views are high. And then when the views go low, okay, because remember, this is like a computer, right? A computer system. It fluctuates, right? But if you're a person that's like, I'm just going to show up when the views are high, you're going to have fluctuating results. But when you are consistent and you keep on showing up, I can assure you your life is going to change. And not for nothing, like I know she get a lot of many people may not like her, Peach McIntyre. Let me tell you something. I had took her class. I took a few of her classes. And I don't agree with everything that she do or say, but she is a great teacher when it comes to monetization. Okay. And I remember when I took her class, first of all, when I first seen Peach McIntyre on social media, and I remember she was having this class or so, and me and my oldest daughter and my oldest son was in the car. And I don't know what it was, but from me watching the video, and this was when Facebook first started doing a monetization program, right? And I remember she had did a video, and I was like, you know what? I am going to take her class. I don't know what it was, but I was like, our lives are forever going to change. Watch. And I took her class. I took a few other content creators classes. Okay. I took Peach McIntyre class. I took Jazzy I think Jazzy is from Brooklyn, or is she from the Bronx? I know she's from New York. I took her class. I took Sean Canu class. Okay. I took a lot of the top content creators classes. Okay. And you have to see this for yourself. Like no matter if people don't believe in you, no matter if people is like, you don't deserve it, no matter who is saying what, you still show up for yourself. You still show up for yourself. Now on Facebook right now, this is the highest that I have earned on Facebook. And it's from that. And let me tell you, and I remember hearing Peaches say this when I took her class. She said, wait, you have poor communication skills. I will not be able to subscribe. You talk too much. Do you know how to manage? Don't subscribe, honey. No, no. Hold on, honey. Hold on. Do it look like I give a damn if you subscribe or not? I do not care. I I am not begging people to subscribe to my page. Or do it look like I'm begging people? No. I don't give a damn if you subscribe or if you don't have to subscribe. Honey, in fact, you can leave. Okay? All right? If you feel that you need to be pampered in such a way where as though I have to stop talking to basically to give you all the attention and stuff, you do not need to be here. You definitely don't need to be here, honey. Okay? Definitely not. So, when I remember hearing Peach McIntyre say that. She was like, Dina, she was like, it only takes one video. It only takes one video. And I remember this day. And let me tell you something. Energy is more important than the facts. Okay, let me say it again. Your energy is more important than facts. Okay. Somebody could come along and say, well, nobody ever done it like this, or it never been done like this, or whatever, right? But your energy is more important than facts. Okay. When I went to, and this is the video, it was a Dollar Tree video. Okay. A video that was less than a minute, I believe. Okay. That is almost at 1 million views. When I was at Dollar Tree, when me and my oldest son, because my oldest son, shout out to him, because he the one who brought me out there. We had went out to Woodbridge to the Dollar Tree out there. Never been to that Dollar Tree. And when you hear, right, like I know a lot of you guys have heard this growing up, right? Reap and ye shall sow. And I remember as a kid, my grandmother would always say, like, those seeds that you plant, you will reap those. And sometimes you could have this intuition, your intuition telling you to do certain things. And you may be like, well, I don't have enough. You may tell yourself you don't have enough money to do this thing, right? Because probably you like, oh, I got to buy this. I got to do this. I got to do that. When your intuition is telling you to give, honey, give. Because what God has in store for you, it is so bigger than what you think that you are given. I mean, it is so much bigger than it. And so my oldest son and I, we went to the Dollar Tree. And as we was in the Dollar Tree, he had picked up some things and I had got some things, but I had so much fun. And some people may be, I have gotten people who say, dang, so excited over a Dollar Tree haul. Right? I have heard people say that. And let me tell you something. When I first started doing Dollar Tree hauls, I never knew like what I remember this is the place that I used to be like, oh, nobody shops here. Like I can't go in here. I'm not shopping here, right? Because I thought I was too good. And this is the place that when I started doing videos in there, my inner child would come out. I didn't give a damn who was in there. Like when I first started making a content inside Dollar Tree, of course I was a little nervous and stuff like that because it was something, that I wasn't really accustomed to. But I remember my inner child. But afterwards, like I got to hang up. I don't give a damn who's in there. I'm still doing a video. Like I'm still filled with excitement. Okay. Like, from the energy alone, I have had people come up to me and say, I heard your voice and it sounds like you make videos. And they asked me, like, what's my social media handles? And I don't say that to brag. I say that to say this. It's something that you know you should be doing that you currently aren't doing because you feel that you may not have what it takes. And I am here to tell you that is a lie. You do have what it takes, but you have to be willing to show up. You have to be willing to have people that you are close to not understand you, say that you're crazy, say that what makes you think you're gonna do it. People gonna say get a real job. And another thing, especially the social media, you're gonna have people that's like, and that was another thing. I'm one that don't really care what people say because from the books that I have read, books like The Four Agreements with Don Miguel Ruiz, excellent book. Another book, let me see, for some reason comes The 11 Forgotten Laws. For some reason that book comes in mind. And from me studying. Okay, studying other books like the Prosperity Bible, excellent book. Also, the Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Oh, chef kiss, so good. And these books, they all talks about the human psyche. It all talks about why we do what we do. And from me reading those books, okay, when I see certain comments on social media, it does nothing for me because I know that people are pretty much telling on themselves. They telling you exactly what they got going on in their lives. They telling you exactly how they feel. But the views that I got on that video, 600 and I think 54,000. Let's say by the end of this week, it'll be at 1,000,000. I want to say within 2 days, it's going to be at 1,000,000, or probably within today, it'll be at 1,000,000. That video is blowing up so much on Facebook. It's crazy. But I remember that, it was once upon a time that I was like, all right, so when I'm making these videos, because you hear so many people that says, one of the things that comes with success is criticism, right? And I had people on that video talk about silly stuff. I mean, to me, it's very silly. Like my earrings. Oh, they look so big and they as big as your head. Like really, really silly stuff. I had people say, what else they said? They said so much crap on that video. Um, because I was saying like, oh my goodness, I can't believe Dollar Tree is selling this. And people was like, oh, Dollar Tree been selling this item, right? The item was new in my eyes. That was the first time I seen it at Dollar Tree. And if you haven't been to Dollar Tree in a while, do understand that Dollar Tree has changed drastically. Okay, the Dollar Tree that it is currently today, that's the Dollar Tree that I would have been wanting to go to like back in the day, you know. But I'm glad for the transition. When Dollar Tree, I started going to Dollar Tree when it became when they incorporated the plus section. Okay, that's when I started going to Dollar Tree. I wasn't going to Dollar Tree when it was $1. I hear so many people that's like, oh, Dollar Tree ain't even $1 no more. Have you checked today's economy? Like, of course, it's not going to be $1. Is things going to raise in prices. That's everywhere. It's not just Dollar Tree, that's everywhere. So then some people say, oh, she must be the manager at Dollar Tree, trying to get people to come to the store. I'm like, where do these people get these made up stories that they tell themselves? Because the manager, and there's nothing wrong with being a Dollar Tree manager, but I'm not a Dollar Tree manager. And it's so funny. Like people just say all types of stuff. And this is something that you have to take with a grain of salt and be like, I don't give a damn what these people say. This is for me and my children. This is for me and my family. One person said something and I was like, honey, could you keep on commenting? It was something that was crazy, but I said, could you keep on commenting because it's definitely helping, like it's helping my page. And the person was like, sure, right? But I was like, damn, I should have said if they could comment on my other videos too. Oh, you're welcome. So the books that I mentioned, if you go on my YouTube, like the bio section, those books are on my Amazon. Okay. And I do get a commission from them. But those books that I mentioned, they are all on my Amazon storefront and you can purchase them from there. Okay, to help a sister out. But those books are really, really good. Those are the books that when I first started doing social media, I was in the only book I think I had was not Don Miguel Ruiz, Pablo Coelho book and the Alchemist. That was the first book that I had purchased. Like when it came to believing in yourself and stuff like that. And the reason I purchased that book was shout out to Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart, because I remember when he talked about that book, The Alchemist, he was the first person that I really heard talk about The Alchemist, the way he talked about it. And from Infinite Waters talking about that book, I was like, you know what? I'm definitely going to cop that book. And I brought that book 2018. I brought that book. And so far I had to get like a second copy because the first copy, it got messed up. So I brought a second copy. The Alchemist, so good. I mean, it is such an amazing read. It is really, really good. And shout out to Infinite Waters because he is another one that inspired me, like on my journey, like in the beginning when I was doing the inspirational videos. And I remember watching Infinite Waters videos. Oh my goodness. Just bring back so many memories because my youngest son, Javon, he would keep on playing these videos, Infinite Water videos for me. And he was like mad young. Right now, my youngest son is 10, but he was really, really young. And I remember he would keep on playing the videos. We would be driving in a car. At this time, I had a Hyundai Santa Fe. SUV and I would be driving and stuff like that and we would be listening to Infinite Waters. And I remember one day I listened to Infinite Waters and I was like, I'm gonna be there, right? Like I'm a be successful as he is. And I didn't know exactly, like I said, like I always thought that it was going to be from the inspirational videos, right? I thought it was going to be from there. I didn't know that it was going to be from doing Dollar Tree hauls. Like imagine that you become, and I speak this into existence for me, becoming a multimillionaire from doing Dollar Tree hauls, like showing people what Dollar Tree has. Like one of the stores that people would look down upon. And, I was one of those people that I used to feel like, I was too good for. But it's just funny how God sometimes, some people say humble, but I don't want to say humble, but it's just funny how sometimes God use certain situations to make you look at yourself and look at yourself and say, dang, I thought it was going to happen this way, but the way I thought, like it was all wrong, right? Like it was wrong. And so to the person that's out there that's like, well, maybe one, you don't trust God, right? And maybe that comes from, you know, the adults lying to you, okay? The adults like your mother or father lying to you, telling you certain things, because the relationship oftentimes that we have with God, or the relationship or the way we look at God, is sort of a relationship of the way we look at our parents. You know, like maybe you had strict parents, mean parents. You think God is mean. You know, God. We hear this like God is a jealous God and all this other stuff. To me, I mean, jealous God. To me, I think that's foolishness. But hey, you know, you take that with a grain of salt. But like just keep on going. You know, just understand that if it's possible for one, it's possible for many. Understand that nothing is too big for God. Do understand that whatever it is that you desire, you know, just put it out. Put it out to God. Like, you know, thank you, God, and thank God in advance before that thing take place, before that thing happen. You know, thank God, like, oh, thank you, God, for the car. Thank you, God, for you know, me earning such and such amount per month or whatever it is. Start thanking God now, because when you thanking God, there is a way that you are pretty much surrendering and saying, I know, God, you gonna work things out. But it's also not saying like I'm just gonna sit back and just do nothing. No, when you get that intuition, your gut telling you to do certain things, upload the video, make the phone call. You know, you gotta act on those things, because in order for your income to go up, is ideas. Money is an idea. You may say, no, money is the green paper. No, money is an idea. It's because of the ideas that people tend to have, that problems they tend to solve with an idea. Okay, it takes is an idea first. And is those things that increases people income. And another thing, don't be afraid to start over. You know, don't be afraid to start over. In many cases, starting over is the best thing, because when I started doing other content, shopping hauls, right? I mean, that was sort of not starting over from scratch, because I already had, you know, an audience already, but I pretty much had to start doing, I did something else. And then the fruit of my labor and everything is like tenfold. Okay. So you got to keep believing in yourself. Hey, Anna, peace to you, baby. Peace to you, peace to you. You know, you got to keep on believing in yourself. But I'm extremely proud. And when do you tell yourself you proud of yourself? Because me, I'm extremely proud of myself. I am extremely proud of Dina. Extremely proud of Dina, because I could have gave up at any given time. But there's no plan, there's no plan B. There's no plan B. This is like all. This is like everything. Me making content, you know, and just the flashback came to mind. I remember it was a girl who I grew up with, and I remember she was doing a Facebook Live. This is like when Facebook Live like first was like big. And I remember I watched her doing a Facebook Live video. And I grew up with her, sort of. And she was doing a video and she was like speaking. She was laying in the bed talking, like talking to the phone. And it was people watching her. And I was one of the people. And I was like, oh my goodness, how could she do a live video and these people are watching her? Right? I would say that. I would be like, oh my goodness, how could she do a live video and people are watching her? Like, she not scared, you know? And I never At that time, because I had this persona, I had this image I had to keep up. I felt like, that I had to be perfect. Everything was perfect in my life. And so I wasn't gonna put myself out there. I definitely wasn't gonna do videos at that particular time. And this is one of the things where as though you have to be grateful and thankful for every season that you're in. Because when I was in a season of experiencing anxiety, depression, experiencing those things, right? Me feeling that way got me to do videos. Isn't that the irony in that? Me feeling that way, me feeling like I'm so sick and tired of acting like I have everything figured out. I'm so sick and tired of acting like, everything is perfect in my life. I got so sick and tired of that it caused me to start doing videos. That's crazy, right? The one thing that I was afraid of, that I was like, oh my goodness, how could she be doing a video and people watching her, people that she actually know? I was like, I'm going to do it. And when I got the download in 2018, I did the videos. And I remember so vividly, so clear. My oldest son, I had my youngest daughter, Amani, who at that time, I think she was about 6 months. And I had did a video and I was terrified. Like I was nervous. So nervous. And it was like an introduction video, right, to YouTube. I was so nervous. And it was on my other page. I think it was Dina B Peace and Love. Honey, I don't even know the password to that channel. But I remember my oldest son, I asked him if he could record me, and I was breastfeeding. My youngest daughter, she was drinking the milk. And from her sucking on the breast, it was louder than my voice because I was nervous. I was nervous. And I didn't know how to do a thumbnail. I didn't know how to do an edit. I didn't know how to do none of those things. I didn't know how to do it. But guess what? I kept on showing up. I kept on showing up. No matter what, I still showed up. And along the way, and this is another thing, like you have to understand that along the way, the answers will be revealed. Remember, I didn't know how to do a thumbnail. I didn't know what a caption meant. I didn't know how to do tags, let alone I didn't even know like really what was the difference between a hashtag and a tag. I didn't know these things, but I just kept on going. I kept on going. I believe in myself so much that I know, and I believe in God, that I know the answers shall be revealed. They shall be revealed. And you have to keep on going. You have to, and this is why you have to be that person already. So what if nobody in your family ever became a multimillionaire? How about you be the first? So what nobody in your family ever did whatever? How about you be the first? How about you be the first? And there's going to be times where so people going to talk about you. It's going to be times where so, you're going to have to do things without those people that you may have wanted to do the things with. Because perhaps in some cases they don't want to change. Some people, they comfortable where they are. And because you want more in life, sometimes it can cause some static. Okay? Because you want more from life. Because you are aiming for the stars. Or you aiming for the stars. So keep on going. 7 years. 7 years. I've been making content. Okay. And I had a viral video. Okay. Just what, 2 weeks? And I have over 12,000 videos on this platform, on YouTube, just YouTube alone. I don't even know how many on Facebook. And so if I could continuously show up each and every day, which I do, I know you can. And things in my life has occurred, okay? There's been many trials and tribulations. Remember, no matter if you spiritual or so holier than thou, don't think for a second that things are not going to happen in your life. Life happens to every one of us. You know, it's not a such thing, oh, because these people have more money, like it says in the Bible, it rains on the just and also on it rains on the just and the unjust. It's not about if it it's not about if it rains on you or whatever. It's really about your perception of the rain. Are you the type that say, "Oh my goodness, it's pouring, it's thundering," I can't go on any longer. No, you look at that and you say, if there's a big problem, I know there's a bigger opportunity. It's all according to how you see it. It's called perception. And with that being said, I love you guys. Keep rocking out. Keep believing in yourselves. Keep on going and growing. Until next time. Peace. Make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe, and hype the video up and share it. I'll catch you on the next one.